Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live here in UFRL, and this is Tier 3, and this is live from the Japanese Grand Prix. 18 minutes of qualifying, and it will be followed by a 50% race distance. First driver out on track here, James Keller, in the kick Sauber today, and we'll see how he can get on. You've also got the championship contenders. Cowley leading the championship as well, so he'll be open to continue his strong run of form this season. Battling with that title is Baker Gaming in the Williams. You've got Doug in the Mercedes as well, and Ivy in the Alpine. Those are your four key contenders heading into tonight's Grand Prix. I'll just have a double check of the standings. See if I've missed anybody out. I'm pretty sure they're the main ones. Yeah, they are the main ones. Ivy's a bit of a long shot at the moment, but double points in the finale. We've still got 4 rounds to go. That's including tonight as well. So after tonight, it'll be 3 to go. But again, double points for that final race. So it gives everyone that opportunity, certainly in that top 4, to get that championship. So Cowley, Baker Gaming, Doug, and Ivy. Those are your 4 main title contenders here in Tier 3. And this is round 9. So James Kidder, Louis Blizzy, Becky Gaming, Cinders, Melon, Craig, which is also known as Wilco, Shazam, Ivy, and Batman are all on outlaps. But James Kidder will be the first driver to kickstart his lap here, heading out of the Casio Triangle and out of turn 18, and will land your way to the line and kickstart going all the way to turn 1. And that'll be nicely onto the left-hand side of the circuit before travelling to the right side quickly as well. A double right-hander through turns 1 and 2. Gets onto the curb slightly on the outside and leads your way through 3. And now through the S-curve, so it takes you all the way through 3, 4, 5 now. And then into turns 6 and round the bend here through the left-hander at turn 7. And it'll go all the way up beyond the Dunlop curve, through the Degner curve, and into turns 8 and 9. And we'll see how he gets through the double right-handers. Tricky sequence of corners as well. And next up, he'll go through the hairpin down at turn 11. He has got a McLaren there, and that's a McLaren getting in his way. That is Kesenator. Kesenator has clearly got in the way there of James Kidder. And that will be a qualifying ban going to the way of Kesenator there, clearly getting in his way there. I mean, I can clip that myself. That's a very easy one. Sorry, Kez, but that will be a qualifying ban heading your way. It's a very easy one, that. So there you go. That's a simple call there for James Kidder. A couple of engine penalties being served, Louis Blizzy being one of them. I think Melon might be serving possibly a qualifying ban in a way, so we'll see on that one. It might even be an engine penalty. But James Kidder will try and continue his lap. He might actually just go into the pits. He has got some wing damage. It'd be better for him to go in the pits, but he actually decides to continue. Not necessarily the smartest call to continue there. I would have gone into the pits. It's a 32.4 for him, but there will be some quicker times about to be posted. Ivy will be one of them. And how quickly can Ivy go? It's a 29.2, so clearly a very strong qualifying performance here from Ivy. But yeah, for Kesenator, that's a slam dunk one, that run is, I've got to say. Let's have a little look towards a Batman back in Tier 3, and he goes 29.3, very close to Ivy, just over a tenth of a second between them. Strong lap from him. Shazam also goes third fastest, 31.0. A couple of good times being posted here by Ivy and Batman in particular. You've got Bakey Gaming. May have got a bit of a tow potentially from his teammate Wilco, or the other way around. Wilco might be getting a tow from Bakey, but they are together neck and neck. But let's see what Bakey Gaming can do. It will be into the 30s, a 30.4. Wilco goes quicker, 30.0. Interesting from the two Williams there. Wilco with the tow goes 4 tenths faster than his own teammate Bakey Gaming, who is a championship contender. Cinders goes 5th. It's a 30.4 for him. And what about Doug on his first lap for the Mercedes? And then we can have a look towards Kesenator afterwards. Obviously, I know again, Kes will be getting a qualifying ban for lap, but we'll see what Kes can do anyways in qualifying this evening. Doug Lowe will get a 30.0, goes third fastest. A big gap to Ivy and Batman though. Those two looking rapid on their first efforts. Cowley and 50 Gent. Cowley will certainly be one to watch there. 50 Gent as well. We'll keep a close eye on him. Kesenator to the line. Not a quick lap there, 37.5. Right, let's go and have a look again. Who is going out there? Well, 50 Gent seems to be the next one coming through. He'll start his lap, and then it will be Cowley just around the spoon curve. So we'll see what Cowley can do here. But Kesonator just completed that lap. He might be on another lap. I think he is actually going. By the fact he's still in the hot lap, and he got Shazam, who has Invalidate on his next one, goes straight into the pit. Cinders as well, not on a lap. Any of these guys who completed their first runs on a lap, it does not look like it. Ivy and Batman straight into the pits. They were on the low fuel as well. So maybe a little bit more ideal for the likes of Doug, for Bakey, and for Cowley. They do want to get up to those levels. So you've got a McLaren with the yellow flags, a Ferrari also with the yellow flags through the final sector. Just keeping an eye here on 50 Gent beyond the hairpin, out turns 10 and 11, and all the way round the bend onto turn 12 as well. So a nice little potential overtaking opportunity could come your way into turn 13, but it's not very easy making an overtake round here. Your two best overtaking opportunities, one will certainly be turn 1. Obviously, you will get the aid of DRS going a little bit quicker down the straight, and then your next best opportunity will be through 130R, through the left-hander. So just through here, there will be chances to get an overtake done, but again, not easy to overtake here at Suzuka. So we'll find out how the drivers will fare in their overtaking attempts in the race. But let's see how quickly 50 Gent will go. It will be 7th for him, 130.477. A lot of drivers going in with either a 30.0 or 30.4. About 4.5 tenths covering 7th, 3rd down to 7th at the moment. As we go on with Cowley, 12.5 through the split. Can Cowley make his way up with Ivy and Batman and contest for pole position here this evening? Through the final corners out of the Casio Triangle to the line. It's going to be close. It's a 29.3 for Cowley, and he slots right in between Ivy and Batman. Look how quick those three are going. Barely just over a tenth splitting the front three. Ivy, Cowley, then Batman. Wow, very close between them. And it's going to be very challenging for the likes of Doug and for Bakey also. Maybe even Wilco. He could be an outside chance of getting himself up the order as well. But yeah, very impressive. James Killer is back out on track. We'll keep an eye on him as well. Obviously did get blocked by Kesonator on his first run, so hopefully James Killer can have a clean second run. But here we are then with James Killer, just burning some of his battery, going down the straight. How will he get on into turns 1 and 2? Again, a very difficult section for some drivers through this double right-hander, and you make your way all the way, and then you go through the curves, through the S-curves, we say, as there was a Williams just making their way out of James Killer's view there. So we go directly on board with James Killer, trying to make his way around the left-hander, the final left-hander of the S-curves, and now all the way around the bend. Again, a very tricky sector, Sector 1 here at Japan. And again, Sector 2 isn't exactly the most simple. It's not the easiest of tracks, as our James Killer finds out. He goes onto the curb, and there you go. Commentator's curse. As the Williams there and the Ferrari both trying to avoid the ghosted Kick Sauber, who does make his way back onto the circuit, but obviously would have bought his lap time. Oh, that was a car just going off the track there. That was Wilco. Let's go towards Batman. He is through the S-curves as well in Sector 1, and he is on a lap. He did, of course, slot his car into P2, now down to P3. Right, let's have a look. Good evening to Jar Jar. Good evening, 50 Gent. Good evening to Woody as well. Bloody good track, Japan. It's a good track if you can get it right. I kind of like Japan. I've been getting better at it as it's sort of gone along, but it can still be challenging, that's for sure. And there you go. You saw from James Killer there as well, just a minute ago. It is a challenging track if you're not quite ready for it. And you could ask Parkour that a couple of years ago. I think she'll say the same thing. Good evening to Wovana. Hope you're doing well. As Batman here through into the middle sector, will make his way into the final sector as well. Let's see what his split time is. Is he gaining any time? He is gaining a couple of tenths. This could be a pole position lap here from Batman, or at least a provisional pole lap. And Batman just making his way through the Casio triangle. 1, 2 and 3 corners in total. Batman, here we go, reaching to the line. Is it pole? It is. It's a 29.143. And it opens up a gap of a tenth of a second to Ivy, who is improving through Sector 1. Absolutely pivotal here for Ivy to try and keep the pressure on the Red Bull pairing. Batman and Cowley looking quick. Just don't get me wrong, I ain't good at it. I just like it, says 50 Chen. Let's go up the Haas, says Woody. Very good performance from Haas yesterday. First and third on track. Who knows what may come out of it come the final result, however, when the penalties come into play. But yeah, certainly a very strong performance as Ivy here making his way out the final corner. And it will be a 29.1, not enough to overhaul the Red Bull of Batman. And he remains second fastest. Cowley goes back out on track for an outlap. So you've got Doug, you've got Wilco, and here comes Bakey Gaming. Will he improve on a 30.4? He will. It's a 30.1. Does not improve on track position. Remains sixth fastest. Cinder's not improving for the middle sector. And does have a minor improvement, but remains P7. And Wilco to the line. He also improves and goes ahead of Doug into fourth place onto the second row. But Doug massively gaining through the middle sector. Here comes Doug. It's P4, 129.4, but that's more like it from one of your championship contenders, Doug. Cowley and Doug really impressing as title contenders, as is Ivy. Becky Gaming also in the top 6. Your title contenders are all up pre-order here at Japan. And also the Aston Martin of Rotti just coming through for his first run. Obviously a very slow one, so he'll be hoping to improve on a second official run. James Keller in validating, still in overtake mode. Cinders are still in hot lap as well. Maybe trying to push on for another lap, although does not execute a hairpin particularly well, so he would have lost some time there, undoubtedly. What about Bakey Gaming? Obviously we just saw him make an improvement, so nobody else seems to be on an official lap. Will go towards Rotti in that case, as he is just making his way, and obviously massively gaining through the first sector, as you'd expect, with a lap time of a 1:49.920. Doug, says Woody. Well, yeah, onto the second row. I mean, he could do anything from there. So yeah, we'll see what he can do. Cowley and Ivy right up there with him as well. Batman leading the way, however. Both Batman and Ivy in the pits. Interesting that Cowley went out again, although he's just making his way through turns 1 and 2. So we will go back towards Cowley. But he's going out fairly late here. Just under 5 minutes to go. It's not a short track either. And because of how long the track is that going to impact Cowley here in making his decision to finish the lap? Or will Cowley decide to pit and get a fresh set of tyres on? Or is he using a second set of fresh tyres? Maybe he doesn't want to use the third set, which would be very wise. I wouldn't use 3 sets of fresh softs personally. Rotti, 29.8, goes 5th fastest. Yeah, I wouldn't personally use all my sets of tyres. I would keep 1 set for the race, especially here. Tyre wear is not ideal, particularly on the softs. So if you've got a fresh set of soft tyres with a few laps to go, that can make a difference from you trying to get a victory and missing out in getting second or third. So that could be the difference come the end of the race if there's a late safety car. But yeah, certainly looks like medium to hard, or even hard to medium look like the strategies here. I think anybody going for soft tyres will be hoping for a safety car at any point in the race. Ideally, if you're starting on soft, you are going to hope for an early safety car. So just keeping an eye on Rotti. Well, let's go back towards Cowley. He is massively improving. There you go, 29.083. Maybe he doesn't need to go again because it is a provisional pole lap from Cowley. And it is a Red Bull 1 and 2. Cowley from Batman. Then it's Ivy. Then it's Doug. Still very close in that top 4, but it is Cowley who now leads the way. And is that him deciding I don't need to go for 1 more lap? I can go in the pits, and that'll be it anyway. I think he has no choice. With 3 minutes to go, he still has to get around the track. I think that's the session over for Cowley. But is it the session over with a pole position? Or can Batman, or can Ivy, or even Doug pull out a lap and stun with a pole position here? Rotti still out there, going for another run. And I think this will be his final attempt as well for Rotti. So a 29.8 is his time to beat. He's the only driver on a lap at the moment. And it looks like we're going to get everybody going out with less than 3 minutes to go, which is pretty exciting. Because very often you do get a few drivers being out with 5 minutes to go when they start their laps and such. But right now, everybody, near enough, is going out with a couple of minutes to go. So they will try to get the laps in. So it will make the end of qualifying very exciting here. Rotti, though, not improving through the first sector. 2.5 tenths down. And with the lack of fuel he has on board, he might need to just go into the pit straight away. Or if he can finish the lap, he'll hope to get that improvement in. A decent hairpin. Let's see what Rotti can do then. We want to see if he can improve through that middle sector. If not, then he might be thinking about aborting the mission here. He's using a lot of battery though, just heading into the spoon curve, which I would have said probably would have been better to use it heading down this straight into 130R. This is the place where you want to be burning your battery, because it's the longest straight, and he's not really burning his battery. He's down by 4 tenths, so is this where Rotti decides to pit, or does he continue through this lap? Because he didn't even go into hot lap either, so he might just be about to go into the pits. And yes, there you go, out of fuel as well. So Rotti, that is his session done, meaning we are down to just a few more drivers to go out there. We've got 3 drivers in that front 4, and then you've got all the way from P7 down to P11, all on out laps. Cowley, Rotti, Wilco and Kesenator all deciding to stay in the pits here as Ivy goes for his lap time. Let's see what Ivy can do. Can he contest with an improvement for that pole position here? Through 1 and into 2 as well. Gets nicely onto the curb on the outside and will slot its way through the S's from turns 3 all the way into turn 7. And that'll go all the way up to the Dunlop curve, then the Degler curve. So what can Ivy do? Yellow flags rather, through sector 1 for a Williams. And that will be for Baker Gaming. So that may just be Baker Gaming's session done. And there is a slight improvement through sector 1 for Ivy, but it is going to be Baker Gaming is done here in qualifying. He will not be improving, and it will be P7 at best for the Williams here of Baker Gaming. That's one of your key championship contenders. So he's out of the picture for pole. He's out of the picture for a top 6 start. So Baker Gaming has a lot of work to do here in the race. What about Ivy though? Does he have enough to find time through the middle sector? He's burning his battery, and his sector 2 split time, Ivy is not improving through his sector 2 split time. This could be a problem here for Ivy. Can he find more time through the final sector? Batman not improving through the first sector either. Ivy goes into the pits. He is done. You've got Doug up to line. What can he do? Is it going to be pole for Doug? It's close, but it's P4. It's not pole position for Doug. And that is it for him. Cinders gaining. It's 6th for Cinders. Big lap at the end there. 50 Gent gaining as well. Where does he go? It's P8 ahead of Bakey Gaming. James Kidder now. He goes up to 5th. Bakey is barely in the top 10. Incredible. Shazam to the line. Benny stays P11. Bakey's going to stay, but it's all down to Batman, who's gaining through the middle sector. This could be it. This could be pole for Batman. Is this smart from Red Bull? Maybe they should be saying to him, you know what, abort your P2. It could keep Cowley on pole, but Batman's going for it. He's burning. Here he goes. It's not pole. He's lost time through sector 3. Cowley is on pole position here at Japan. Incredible. We thought Batman was going to take it. He was gaining through about 2.5 tenths through the middle sector. He's lost 2 tenths through sector 3. And that has cost Batman pole. But his teammate Cowley, the championship leader, is on pole position here at Suzuka. Incredible. And there you go, very close in that top 4. Cowley on pole with 29.083. Batman slots into the front row as well. It's a Red Bull 1 and 2. Ivy on the second row, he starts alongside Doug. 4th place, those two are title contenders as well. James Kidder, 5th fastest for the Kick Sauber, just ahead of Rotti in 6th, Cinders in 7th, Wilco goes 8th fastest. 50 Cent in 9th. Bakey Gaming, another one of those championship contenders, down in P10, a second off the pace. Shazam 11th. Kesonator 12th. And you got Mr. Piggy, Louis Blizzy and Melon all down in 13th, 14th and 15th. But Cowley is the one on pole. Your championship leader has done the job he needs to do. Can he continue that in the race? We will find out. First of all, we'll have a 5-minute break. So I'll be back in a few minutes' time. Right then, we are back and we are due to get started here at Japan in just a moment. Um, no worries, Jar Jar. Did you leave? I didn't even see you leave. I don't know if you left or not. But yeah, we'll be getting started very soon here for this race at Suzuka. Let me get the drivers to go. Oh, they're already going. There you go. Don't even need to. They were like, oh, we've been waiting here for about 6 minutes. It's time to go. Indeed it is. Right, the countdown has begun. Here we are in UFRL. The lights have started. For some reason, only went to 4, but now it's 5 lights. And it is go, go, go. Red Bull 1 and 2. It's a clean start from Cowley and Batman. And Cowley will lead into turn 1. Batman in behind. And you've got Doug and Ivy side by side. And it is Doug just ahead of Ivy. He gets a place. Doug up into third. And it's Ivy from Rotty, who's going a little bit onto the grass. Keeps his car on track. And that allows for James Killer to fly through. Rotty in behind, then you've got Cinders, then it's Wilco, then Shazam, followed by 50 Gent, Bakey, Louis Blizzy ahead of Mr. Piggy, then it's Melon, then it's Kesonator down the order. He's actually dropped places here, but Melon is behind Mr. Piggy at the start, very close between a pairing. Let's go up the order because Rotty's dropped a couple of spots. He's dropping another one this time. Oh, he's gone straight off. There is a track clear, Rotty. Gee, that is very close from Rotty there. He's going to drop all the way down, possibly to last. I think, yeah, he's going to go to last place there. I'm not sure what's happened there to Rotty. He's got some wing damage as well, but he's gone absolutely gung-ho here for the Aston Martin. I'm down to P15 here for Rotty. Oh, it's also Doug. Doug's found some trouble, and he's having a bit of a battle here with 5th Gen and Shazam. Shazam's down the order. Doug's down to P7, so he's lost some places. Whether or not that could have been in with Rotty or even with Ivy or James possibly. But he's down to 7th place here on those mediums. 50 Gents went down the inside of Shazam early doors. Kesonator and Rotty resuming their little battle down the order as well. But 50 Gent just holding station. Doug is down into 7th place. No worries, Jar Jar as well. But yeah, Doug down the order here into P7. Not an ideal getaway from him. Tyre situation, mediums all round, bar 4 drivers. Bakey Gaming in 10th, he stays 10th as well. He's on the hard, you've got Piggy, Melon and Kesonator all opting for the hard compound of tyre. Position changes are on for you as well, so as you can see, strong starts out there for Cinders, James and Wilco. Doug losing 3 positions already. Rotty down 9 as well. Melon ahead of Mr. Piggy. Piggy off the circuit, he's down a P15 as a result. So there you go, position change. What's that? Wilco. Wilco's on the grass. He's losing out to Louis Blizzy as well as Bakey and Shazam. And I think 50 Gen and Doug as well. So down the order goes Wilco after a strong start. He's down to 11th, so not ideal. We head up the order towards James Killer, who's had a strong getaway himself. And is already on the rear of the front 3. Cowley, Batman, Ivy. And then it's this man, James Killer. Let's head towards Ivy, who's all over the rear of I Am Batman. This is for 2nd and 3rd. Don't forget Ivy wants to be in that championship battle. Rotty ahead of Kesonator for P13. But can Ivy make his way up the order? Is there a bit of contact? Oh, there's possibly contact from James in behind. Ivy would have lost some time there. Batman has gotten away. Here comes James Killer. All of a sudden, all over the rear of Ivy. He's going to go for the move into turn 1. He's got the straight line speed. Through goes James Killer. And Ivy goes into him. Ivy runs into the rear of James. He's got damage as well. Damage for Ivy on the front wing. He just went into James Killer at turn 1. Unbelievable. Let's see what damage he's got exactly. It's front right end plate damage here for Ivy. So it will unsettle the race of the Alpine here. And it may see him fall behind that front 3. But it's looking good for Red Bull 1 and 2. And they're looking for some strong points here this evening. But Ivy has it all to do with that damage now. So we have a little look towards Shazam on the rear of 50 Gent. Doug in this battle just ahead of 50 Gent as well. Oh, Shazam goes very deep into the hairpin. Out turns 10 and 11. It could possibly give Bakey an opportunity. Don't forget, Bakey is on the hard compound of tyre. Not yet finding any overtakes after Wilco's ever. He has got that 1 place. but not finding any moves just yet. He's just going to wait for those hard tyres to really bounce back into play. And maybe at one stage you can have the upper hand. Doug on the rear of Cinders. This could be a big overtaking opportunity for Doug. He's staying behind into 130R. Got loads of battery on board as well. So just keep an eye here on whether or not Doug will get the move done on Cinders and progress into that top 5 through this early starts. James Kidder with the fast lap of 32.6. Mega from James. Here comes Doug down on the inside of Cinders, and he's up here to the top 5, and Cinders does an Ivy. He runs into the rear of the car ahead, and Cinders follows what Ivy did and goes and breaks some of his front wing. And there you go, Cinders has his front right end plate completely off, just like Ivy. And he seems to be struggling that little bit more in comparison to the Alpine now. Even to the point where 50 Gen is well within that DRS range. 2/10 on Cinders, who's got a second to Doug. I do think the wing damage may be just that little bit more for Cinders than what it is for Ivy. Very unfortunate to be worse than what Ivy's is, but either way, they have both got their end plate damage, and you can see 50 Gent getting that much closer to the rear of Cinders here. Is he going to get the opportunity done for 50 Gen? And there you go, you can see Shazam getting close, and off the track goes the Ferrari of Cinders. It will give the opportunity to 50 Gen. Will he go for the move down the straight? There's an unwise move also from Shazam there, just putting to the left side. It actually allows for Bakey Gaming to get the mover. Wilco through on Louis Blizzy. It's going wild here on board of Blizzy. No big moves just yet down into beyond 130 on. There's a Williams having a look as well. That would have been Wilco having a look on Shazam. But they're all trying to make their moves here. Here's Shazam going for the move, and there you go, Cinders into the pit for the Ferrari. That pushes all of these drivers into that top 10, and here comes Shazam having a look down the inside of Bakey Gaming, but he lifts and breaks out of that overtake, so down into P8, and Bakey Gaming finally picks up a place, and he's now up into 7th position from the start. Let's go towards your front 4 then. Cowley, Batman, James Kidder and Ivy all getting strong getaways here. And Ivy with that damage is still looking like he's got relatively good pace as well out in front. James Kidder looking very strong for the Kick Sauber team. In 3rd place on the podium. He's still right behind the 2 Red Bulls, which is really what's keeping Cowley and Batman ahead of James Kidder, who does look very quick out there. And you've also got to think about Ivy. With that damage, he's still doing very well. You can see his damage was not as bad as what it was for Cinders, however. So yeah, certainly if you had to pick between the two, you'd probably have picked the damage that Ivy has got. You can see James Kidder very close to the rear of the Red Bull of Batman. Does not want to get into a tangle with the Red Bull, and looks like he's going to avoid it as well. Is there an opportunity here for James Kidder as we head out of the Casio Triangle, down the straight, all the way to turn 1? What has James Kidder got for us? He's going to have a look on the inside. He's going to go for the move, is he? It's ever so tight. There's a bit of contact between the pairing. Still a bit more, but Batman just stays ahead. He hangs on ahead of James Kidder, but it was very close, very feisty. But it's just about enough for him, for Batman, to stay clear. Very tight racing there. And now I'll go towards the stop situation. So Cinders has made that first pit stop, as you can see. Ivy then directly behind James Kidder. So obviously if James Kidder makes a mistake in going for the move on Batman, that could open a door for Ivy. And James Kidder again getting very close to the rear of Batman. That front 4 looks strong. You weren't maybe you weren't expecting James Kidder to be in there, but he certainly is. Doug, 2.9 seconds back. Not doing a bad job. He's got the advantage over the cars behind him now, but he's still got that gap to this front 4. So we go back on board with James Kidder here, all the way down the back straight, leading into 130R once more. Is this an opportunity for him to get a move done? Not quite. Still within 2.5 tenths of a second. And it will be another DRS opportunity for Batman and James and Ivy to get closer towards the rear of Cowley. But Cowley's done a good job so far to stay out in the lead. Here comes James Kidder and also Ivy. Ivy seems to be wanting this move done. Interesting that there's the red light flashing for James Kidder, yet he's still able to look at a move on Batman. Just once again, not quite close enough to complete the overtake on the Red Bull, but he's certainly getting closer and edging his way towards the rear of Batman, as you can see here through the S's. He's so much closer towards I Am Batman. He can't be much closer than that. Into the pits goes Rotty early doors. And this is where James Kidder may just be thinking, can he get a move done here on Batman and apply the pressure towards Cowley? Obviously, the likes of James Kidder and Ivy are sticking with the pace well, and James Kidder will have a look on the inside, just not quite there. Batman runs a little bit deep on the exit as well, which will compromise his exit, and James Kidder may have an opportunity, but again, just too far behind, and to the point where Ivy is very close to the rear of James Kidder as well. The battle seems to be right here at the front of the field between Cowley, Batman, James and Ivy. And on this occasion, James Kidder seems to be that little bit closer towards Batman than what Ivy is to James. So can James Kidder complete the overtake on Batman again into 130R, heading into the Casio Triangle? Just again, a touch too far behind on the rear. What about the exit? Maybe a little bit of contact there from Ivy, but can James Kidder get this move done? He's been pushing for it. There's a red light flashing for Batman. And I think that means only one thing here. James Kidder's going to pull to the right side. They are going to go side by side. Batman tries to break that a little bit later. A little bit of contact. James Kidder on the right. He's got the move done. James Kidder is up into second. He gets through on I Am Batman. Mega job from James Kidder there. And it's a big overtake from him. Mellon, meanwhile, is ahead of his Visa RB teammate Shazam. And what's that? Batman's fallen. Batman has fallen to fourth. He's dropped behind Ivy. And now Doug is within a second of the Red Bull, which could be brilliant for the Mercedes. If he could just stick with Batman or even overtake, that may give him hope to catch up to this front pack. So you've got Ivy, you've got James Kidder, but James Kidder has been looking very racy out here this evening, up into second, and all of a sudden, he can apply that pressure to Cowley. Red Bull playing this brilliantly, says Warner. Well, not anymore, not anymore. It's kind of been cancelled for Batman, unfortunately, down into fourth, and he will have Doug behind him. So let's see what James Kidder does on this situation. Still got some battery on board, almost halfway, so we can try and burn into turn one. And he is so close to the rear of Cowley here. Cowley had Batman behind him, who was definitely seemingly helping Cowley out to stay in that lead. But James Kidder is going to be far more feisty than what Batman was. And you expect James Kidder will take the lead here. There's going to be barely anything that Cowley can do. Pulls to the right-hand side, and with DRS, it looks like James Kidder has got relatively low wings out here as well, by the simplicity of his overtake so far, and he does get the move done. Cowley has to fall in behind, and it is James Kidder is the new race leader for the first time this evening. Now meanwhile, Doug has got the move on Batman and up into P4 as well, so Doug 2.3 seconds to the top three, and he's closer than what he has been since lap 1. But on here with Ivy and Cowley, it just seemed to be dropping back from James Kidder, who's got that 0.6 of a second advantage. James Kidder has found some pace here at Japan. Very interesting here. Cinders, meanwhile, getting through on Mr. Piggy up into P13. But yes, for James Kidder, it is looking good in terms of trying to push on and get beyond Cowley. Cowley, he's not got that much battery either as he heads down the back straight. So this will give an opportunity for James Kidder to try and put away. I should have my trial this weekend also. Yeah, cool, Henry. Wicked. It's been a long time coming for your trials, hasn't it? Right, what about Batman? Here we go on the rear of Doug. 0.2 of a second. Nothing doing at the front as James Kidder will stay ahead of Cowley. But on this occasion, Batman may very well go for the overtake on Doug. And he does. Up into 4th position now for Batman. And Doug just has to drop in behind. What about Baker Gaming? On the inside of 50 Gent and up into the top 6 on a hard compounder tyre goes Baker Gaming in the Williams. We head back up towards the front here. James Kidder and Cowley still right in there. You've got the Ferrari of Cinders ahead of Piggy and Rotti as well. Rotti is now caught up to Mr. Piggy. And that may be an overtake about to happen at the rear. So let's have a little look here if Rotti can get the move done and move up into P14. Just whilst battles do continue up the field, but they are heading into difficult overtaking opportunities. But Rotti heads down the inside on Mr. Piggy, and it should be a relatively simple one, and it is indeed. Rotti moves up. Oh, Mr. Piggy goes into Rotti, and it is a spin out there from Mr. Piggy, and that is a loss of wing, and that is a safety car. Mr. Piggy going into Rotti, and it is a full course safety car as well. So there you go, an opportunity now for the medium tyre runners to go on to hards and try and run to the very end. And they will all pit at this stage. They've got to pit. I mean, if you're on mediums. But Baker Gaming's going to be facing the biggest challenge now, because he is on the hard tyres, as is Melon. And if they want to go mediums, well, mediums to the end from the stage won't be as comfortable as the hards. But the race leaders should all be pitting right now for the hard tyres. And there you go, they'll all be going into the pits. And for Batman, this is not good news, because he will be getting held up by Cowley. So Batman will drop behind maybe 1, possibly 2 drivers as well. They are all into the pits. Now, the question is, where will Batman come out? He was in front of Doug. Piggy receives a penalty, 3 seconds. And Batman is down into P7. He's behind Bakey. He's behind 50 Gent. He's behind Ivy. And Doug as well. So Batman, all of a sudden, is well down the order. Wilco is into 8th. Or is he? Nope, it's dropped behind Kez. Kezinator stays out. Interesting strategy from Kezinator. He stays out on his old hard tyres. That's going to cause a bit of carnage in behind there, you feel. But most drivers have pitted here. Mr. Piggy back into the pits. He will go for, you imagine, mediums, but he will have to replace his entire front wing as well. The only driver to go for softs is Melon. And I can guarantee you they ain't going to the end. They ain't lasting you many laps either. So Melon will go soft, and he most likely will have to go for a set of mediums afterwards. But here you go, Mr. Piggy out onto the medium tyre. So James Kidder then has the best opportunity, but the only 3 drivers not to pit there. Kezinator, Cinders and Rotti. The rest of them have all indeed pitted. The majority have boxed onto a fresh set of hard tyres, including that front 3 of James Kidder, Cowley and Doug, who has now found his way up the order into 3rd place. So the one who lost out, I know who lost out. So Ivy was the one who lost out because he had to repair his wing. That makes sense now. So Ivy has now got a fresh wing, but he is into P6 behind Bakey and behind 50 Gent. Luckily for him, he's just ahead of I Am Batman. So those two will be trying to race their way through the field here. And Bakey Gaming, well, he may just be a bit more competitive on those medium tyres. So we just await for Mr. Piggy to catch up to the safety car. Well, then Mr. Piggy then. We'll see him and he will catch up, coming through turns 1 and 2 here. Not too far behind the Aston Martins. I think he may just pick them up actually going into the S's here. So yeah, he will certainly catch up. So Mr. Piggy will catch up to the rear of the safety car now, or the pack should I say, behind the Aston Martin. I will mean all 15 drivers are back together again. And now it will be a safety car will be in at the end of this lap, and we can continue racing from lap 13 onwards. But James Keller, the championship leader Cowley, Doug in third in the championship, Baker Gaming is second in the championship, Ivy is fourth in the championship. That's the situation right now. 50 Gent in fifth, not involved in a championship fight. He's in a healthy position. And Batman, new driver in tier 3. He was previously in tier 2 last season. He's in 7th position at the moment. He's actually a former tier 3 champion as well. For James Keller here, leading the way for the kick Sauber. I will get the telemetry back on so we can see if it's a clean getaway out in front. But we'll wait on the safety car being called in. It typically is called in at a sector 2 split line as well, heading into sector 3, so we'll wait and see if that is the case here. And the safety car is now going on, and it's not told me it's going in, but I do presume, there you go, now it is going in. And James Keller, you should slow the car down. He is going very quickly here, James Keller, almost too quickly. I hope it doesn't go before the safety car is fully in. He is trying to go on the throttle, he's full throttle now. When he let him go, and it does, it seems clean enough on the getaway. It was very close there. We'll get the telemetry off then. So James Keller gets away, and it is from Cowley. There's a strong start from Ivy closing in, and also Mellon getting through on Louis Blizzy and into the top 10 on those soft tyres. How long will they last for the V-Carb here? So he's got that one place. Can he find another place? He's got Wilco just ahead of him in the Williams. We'll just quickly go up the order because Ivy closing in on 50 Gen at a 10th of a second. And this may be an opportunity for Ivy to get one move done, push himself into that top 5. And we'll see the likes of James, Cowley and Doug. We'll see him in that list of 5 drivers on the left side when they get it. And now Wilco gets through on Kesenator. Obviously Kes is on the older tyres. And this is where you would expect Mellon to find his way through as well. And as you can see, he does not. He does not find his way through. Mellon is off track. Well, he was off track. He's back on. But Mellon has dipped down the order. Was there contact between himself and Kesenator there? He has got wing damage as well. So I did see Kes just drift over a bit too far on the left side for a moment. And I wonder if that was how the contact was formed between them. The game did not give a good broadcast view, but I do believe there may have been a contact there between the pairings. And that may be why Mellon is down the order here. But that will mean he will have to go probably to a set of mediums and try and take them to the end. As we'll go back up the order then. 50 Gent stays ahead of Ivy for the moment. At top 4 stays together. Mellon's into the pits. That might mean he might be about to retire. It's a 10-second speeding penalty. But your front 4 remains James Kidder, Cowley, Doug and Baker Gaming. It's directly on board here with the Williams of Baker Gaming, the Constructors' Championship leaders. Behind the Mercedes of Doug, which again are fighting for the Constructors. They need some bad results, so for the Williams, Mr. Piggy has had something happen to him in the Alpine. He's down to P14 now. We've got 2 packs of racing here. We've got a pack from P1 down to Batman, and you've got a pack from P8 down to P13. And speaking of that pack, here comes Shazam battling here with Rotti. Oh, Shazam just ahead of the Aston Martin. What's this? Cowley. Has Cowley had something happen? He has, because he's dipped down 2 places. He's dropped to Doug, and he's also dropped to Baker Gaming. And all of a sudden, Cowley's into 4th. Ivy through on the 50 Gent as well. Ivy sees blood, and he's got a move done up into the top 5. He flies. Oh, what's that? That's a Red Bull. Cowley, what has he done? What has he done? Cowley's in trouble. He's got a 10-second penalty. He's just broken too late. And that's a real problem here for Cowley. Mr. Piggy is out as a safety car. Well, all of a sudden, he may have just got a bit lucky there, Cowley, but I do feel like, I know he's one penalty point away from a race ban, and this could be a dangerous spell here for the Red Bull. And Cowley could, as a championship leader, that could be a pivotal mistake in this championship title race. Has he just blown his chances, and does he need a miracle into those final 3 races? I think he does. I mean, let's say for one, he might not be racing next week. Then, based on that, let's say he doesn't race next week. How far behind would he be compared to the likes of Bakey and Doug? And you'll also see Ivy close up as well in the championship fight, so that could be massive for the championship this season. But there could be a spell of danger here for Cowley. Am I tweaking, or is it a safety car? Well, it is a safety car now, but the issue is the game has a glitch. So on the left side, it will say if it's a safety. It will say there's a safety car if a safety car has come in. So it's just a glitch from the game. But there is a legitimate safety car now. But that is why they were still racing. It's because the safety car did go in, but it's a glitch from the game. So the safety car will still show on the left side, even though it's not actually a safety car. What you need to be watching out for is a track map in the bottom right. If that is all yellow and there's a yellow dot on it, as you can see, there's a yellow dot on the track map. If that happens, then there is a safety car. If that yellow dot is not there, then it is not. If the track is normal, it's not. Even if it says it is in the top left. Right, Cowley's into the pits, and so you will have to go for potentially a set of mediums here. Get them to the end. You will have to serve his penalty, which is a very wise call. So he will be on the quicker medium compound tyres. I thought for a moment he was going for softs, but luckily he's going for mediums. It was Kesonator going for softs. So yeah, medium tyres and to the end for Cowley. Didn't have to repair any wing damage. But yeah, good evening, Angry Badger. Just got back. Well, your Ferrari Cinders is currently in P11 on the mediums. Gone for fresh mediums as well. But yeah, for Cowley, he has a lot of work to do. And again, if he were to get a penalty point or 2, whatever, however many penalty points he gets, if he gets 1 or more for that, for what he just done, then that will be a race ban heading the Red Bull's way, and that will be a race ban for next week. So it's a really significant potential penalty going to the Red Bull there of Cowley. And that could be his championship chances either in the bin, or, if not in the bin, he may still have a real chance, which I think he will. But he can't not get into the top 5 tonight. He needs a top 5 finish, take whatever penalty, take the race ban, and then he needs to go into those final 2 rounds knowing there's double points for the finale. And he effectively probably needs to win that finale as well then, on that basis. So there's a lot for Cowley to do then this season now if he does want that championship. It opens a door for Doug, it opens a door for Bakey, and it opens a door for Ivy as well. Those 3 have got a significant chance now of battling Cowley for that title. It's not like Cowley was the overwhelming favourite. He certainly wasn't. It was still very close between them. Didn't feel any contact with Menon. Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't see it. It just looked like, because I saw your car was drifting to the left, and Menon was trying to overtake you on the left. So I don't know if Menon maybe just fell off himself or not. I don't know. Because the broadcast view, I will tell you, was absolutely rubbish. Because it went to the next camera on the broadcast view, so it didn't actually see if there was contact or not. So the only way we'll be able to see if there was contact is through POVs. But if he doesn't post anything, then I presume there's no contact. If he does post something, then you'd presume there's contact. So yeah, I don't know 100%. It was just a sort of guess of what could have happened, but again, I didn't say if there was definite contact or not, because I didn't see it. So I can't say if there was definite contact or not on that. The game didn't give me a good enough angle, unfortunately. But right, this will be likely the final lap under this safety car. Mellon's just about to catch up to the rear of the safety car in just a moment or 2. But James Keller, once again, will be the leader for this safety car restart. And yes, normally you would say fresh tyres are king. The likes of Cinders being on 2.5 old mediums could be useful. But the problem is, it is not easy to overtake here at Japan. So yeah, for the likes of Cinders and for Cowley as well, can they get the overtakes they need? It's not going to be easy. Now they can get their mediums to the end. For Kes, I feel like he's made a mistake. I think he should have gone for mediums. Let's just check the race director, actually. Yeah, he's gone hard to soft. I think he should have gone hard to medium. If he had gone hard to medium, he would have been able to get them to the end. But those softs, they are not going to the end. Unfortunately for Kes. If there's another lap under the safety car, which I don't think there'll be, I would definitely advise going for the medium tyres here. But sadly for Kes, I don't think there's going to be another lap under the safety car. But yeah, there's definitely a problem going to go for Cowley though. I think I think he'll probably know at this point there is an issue. He'd have been aware he was only 1 penalty point away from that race ban, and that's something that he was trying to avoid. But there's a very high chance he may be about to get that race ban for next week here. Right, we've got the telemetry back on here for James Killer. And the only thing is for Doug, Bakey and Ivy is James Killer's leading. Like, one of them needs to win this race to really put the pressure on Cowley. Yes, there's pressure on, but not major if they don't win. James Killer has a strong restart, and here we go again. James Killer from Doug, Bakey Gaming. Then it's Ivy, who's just dropped back a little bit. Will drop down towards Rotti. And Rotti behind Shazam. You've got a Cinders, then you've got Kesonator, quick start for the soft tyre runner in the Papaya in P12. Then you've got Cowley in 13th. He's going to be wanting to make moves, but he's in a position he does not want to be in, down in P13. He's on the fresher medium compound tyre, which is the best tyre to be on right now to the very end of this race. But he's not got a track position. So there is a problem here for Cowley, but if he can find some moves, then it will be promising for the Red Bull. As you've got Rotti there, under attack from the Ferrari. Then you've got Kes, then you've got Cowley. So go on board here with the Red Bull. Behind the McLaren, a bit of a poor line here from the Kesonator. And that brings Cowley into play to go side by side. Is he going to try and complete this overtake round the outside of Red Bull on Kesonator? Still side by side, he's got the inside line now. Into the spoon curve, it's ever so tight. Kes is just ahead. Oh, bit of contact. Very close again. Oh, what's that? As a problem for Cinders. Cinders is dropping back. Kes is now falling in behind. Here comes Cowley. And through goes Cowley. He's up to P12. Next up, Cinders. He's going to get Cinders on the outside, is he? Cinders on the inside. Cowley on the outside. It's Cowley who is up into 11th. Then Cinders. Then Kes with a penalty. Then it's Mellon. But Cowley has got a move done. Somebody I thought, did they go into the pits? No, they've all stayed out. But it's still there, Cowley. And there's a move here from Kes. Down the inside on Cinders. Not quite making it work. But Cowley has got himself up into P11 from that. Rotti behind Shazam in 10th. He's very close, within 2 tenths. You've got Batman and 50 Gent. Very close racing between the pairing. Ivy as well getting close towards the rear of Bakey Gaming. The gap barely 2 tenths. And Bakey Gaming, don't forget, is on the older mediums now. 8 laps old. And they are not going to feel particularly useful here at this stage of this Grand Prix. So it's not ideal for him. We are just going to post a link into the TikTok. So if you do wish to join, you can join on that link and that will follow you into our Discord. We do currently race 4 times per week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which are all pace-based, tier 1 being the quickest. And then you've got Friday night for the 100% tier. But yeah, tier 1, 2 and 3 for the pace-based tiers. Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, 8 o'clock PM UK time. Right, what about Ivan, and can he get the overtake here on Bakey Gaming, or is it just a bit too far back? Certainly just a bit too far back. What about Shazam, however? He is within a tenth of Wilco. He is going to try and run side by side. He's going down on the inside on the Williams. Has he got the move done? They are still running side by side. It's ever so close. You've got an Aston. You've got a Red Bull of Cowley in there. But what can Shazam do? Lottie on the outside. Cowley's on the inside. Is Cowley going to get the double? He may just be about to. What a big move this could be. Don't veer over too much. It looks like he's just about got it. He does have it. Cowley's up the order. He takes Shazam. He takes Rotty. He's up into... Oh, what's that? This is Aston Martin. The Aston gets through. Rotty through on Shazam. And Rotty into the top 10. But Cowley now into 9th behind Wilco. 2/10. He could get his way up into the top 8. He needs to keep making these moves happen here. James Killer still leads out in front from Doug, Bakey and Ivy in the top 4. And Cowley is closing the gap here towards Wilco. And has he got enough on him? You've got Rotty behind as well. So you've got Wilco, you've got Cowley, and you've got Rotty. Here comes Cowley trying to break away out of the hairpin. Is this an opportunity to make the overtake happen? He's ever so close to the ward of the Williams. It's just not close enough, it seems. But the Aston Martin also edging his way closer as we head out of the spoon curve into turn 14 and all the way down the back straight. This is where Cowley wants the overtake. He's having a look on the outside. He falls back into the slipstream. And also you've got Shazam having a look on Rotty. But Cowley here, will he just go and accept the DRS, or will Rotty go for the overtake? It doesn't look like it. Here comes Cowley then. He will have a look at getting the move. Batman with the fast snap. Doug takes the lead of the race. He takes over from James Killer into P1. Here comes Cowley on the inside of Wilco. He does get it done. And also got Cinders there battling with Shazam. Cinders up into 11th as well. Great battling in the rear end here in Tier 3. But it is Cowley now finding his way up the order. Don't forget he's on the fresher mediums. He's got a chance to break his way through. Doug leads the race though from James, from Bakey, from Ivy. Your front 4 have a gap of 2 seconds over Batman. And I can assure you Batman will be wanting to close that gap towards that front 4 and give himself a shot at a possible podium. Speaking of the battles there, Wilco and Cinder. Cinder's just getting through on Wilco, who has also dropped the pace to Rotty. It's down into P11 now for the Williams. Let's head back up the order towards Doug, towards James Killer. And this pack of 4 looking good in this race so far. They've looked very strong for the majority of the race. Bakey Gaming obviously has only been looking good since safety car. He was quite fortunate that the safety car did come out. Wasn't a great qualifying attempt from him either, down in P10 for qualifying. But he's now onto the podium, but he's got a lot to do on those medium compounder tyres here. That's got Ivy just locking up into the Casio triangle, which will certainly compromise him, and it brings Batman to within the 1 second window. As we head back on with Bakey Gaming, 2.5 tenths back from James Killer. James not close enough to make a move on Doug either. And you got Batman just ahead of 50 Gent, about half a second between them. Batman has just dropped back a little bit from the top 4, 1.4 seconds away now, so he's got a lot of work to do to find his way back into DRS range of your front group. But Ivy still all over the rear of Bakey Gaming. Is there an opportunity to make a move on the inside or on the outside? He actually makes contact! Ivy into Bakey Gaming! And Bakey loses 3 places as a result. And that will be a penalty going away of the Alpine, you feel. That's a title contender of Bakey Gaming involved as well. And Ivy, well, that's pretty much slam dunk for him as well, similar to Cowley. It will just have to be a penalty. He's going to have to accept it. Unfortunately, nothing more, nothing less. It's going to be a penalty going to Ivy. So right now, Doug and James Killer are in a fantastic position. Neither of which, from what I've seen tonight, have been in incidents. But yeah, for that one, I'll clip it just in case. I mean, I probably won't need it. But yeah, Doug and James Killer in a good position to take a strong position here in this race, 1 and 2. And is James Killer going to think about taking the lead of this Grand Prix? He might be about to here. But does not get the traction out of the Casio triangle as Cowley receives a penalty. 3 seconds for him. So he might not be able to get ahead of 8th place Ivy and Batman. And Batman goes all the way round the outside and takes a place onto the podium. I am Batman through on Ivy. He's up at a 3rd. Can he close that gap towards James Killer and keep within DRS range? Your top 5 now, possibly 6 or 7 with Bakey and Louis Blizzy also involved, could all be in DRS range here. Could be an incredible end to this race. We've got 4 laps of racing to go. A purple sector 1 for I Am Batman to boot. Oh, yellow flags. What's happened? Ivy is out! It's a safety car! Ivy is out of the Grand Prix! And it is a full course safety car. Unreal. Full course safety car. You can go for fresh softs or you can stay out. What do you do if you're the driver? Wow, this is going to bring the tension now because all of the drivers are going to have a big decision to make. Do you pit for fresh softs or do you stay out on your older tyres? This is a big question for all the drivers now. And this is how significant this will be. What does Doug do? James Killer and Batman as well in there. Doug will have a big decision to make. And the call is, he is in for fresh softs. James is in. Batman stays out. 50 Gent stays out. This could be a chance here. Cowley stays out as well. Rotti, Cinders. Mellon stays out. Wilco is into the pits. You think Kez will have to pit as well. And Shazam stays out. Some big strategy calls out there. Doug and James Killer will be on the back end of the top 10. Doug's P10 on fresh mediums. Fresh mediums, not even going for softs. Then you got James Killer on softs. P11. Those two are 1 and 2. Then a 10 and 11. And you're barely going to get, what, 2 laps of racing? Oh. I don't think this is a good call here from Doug. I wouldn't have gone for that call personally. Stay out unless you're last, you have nothing to lose. Exactly that. So we've lost both Alpines in this race, plus that Ivy is likely going to get a further penalty for the incident with Baker Gaming. But yeah, this is a problem here for Doug and for James Killer. They were both doing so well in this race, and all of a sudden, they've got a lot of work to do now. Yeah, I'm very surprised from Doug there. Doug should have stayed out. Completely agree. Boxing is silly. What's going on here? Says Deck. Completely agree. It's Japan. Just park the bus. Yep. Just give me a call on that. I'll help you out. James and Doug made a massive mistake. Completely agree. They will race for 2 laps max. And it's Japan too hard to overtake. Yep. Completely agree. I'm going to be honest. Is this strategy going to stop Doug from winning the title? And don't forget, you've still got Ivy potentially getting another penalty with his DNF. Cowley, I think, is going to get a race ban next week from what I've seen, because he's 1 penalty point away. And that incident he had earlier in the race, providing it's reported, I think he's going to have to take the penalty. So it's a big situation here for Cowley, a big situation for Ivy. And all of a sudden, Baker Gaming's got a good chance to get some good points on the leaders. And then Doug, has he just fumbled this opportunity? The safety car is going to be out for another lap. Yeah, this is tricky for him. I reckon Batman will win, says Turner. That's crazy. Up the Haas, says Woody. 50 Gent in P2, Louis Blizzy in P4. And I've not seen either of them in incidents either, so they could be legitimate results as well. Oh, what's happened here? Rotti and Cowley. I'm pretty sure Cowley was behind Rotti, was he not? He is now letting him through. Not sure exactly what happened there. And then you got Cinders, Mellon, Shazam, Doug, James, Wilco, Kez. What's happening again here? Cowley's got back ahead. I think Cowley may have to go off track and let Rotti through. I think Rotti was the car ahead. And if Cowley has overtaken him under the safety car, I think he might have done. And there you go, he's got a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. That's a big one. Was Cowley the car behind Rotty? If he was, and he'll be getting a penalty in a way. I think there's some race that's gone up in smoke here for Cowley. Wow. I mean, he might try to appeal it, but if he was the car behind Rotty to begin with, I don't know. Maybe I should clip the last minute. That would have been wiser. But yeah, if Cowley was behind Rotty, then, well, that 10 seconds won't be getting overturned. I know that much. But I don't know. I thought he was behind him, but I'm not 100% certain now. Setting up a mighty end to the season, it is indeed. Maybe that's what Doug wanted. Doug just thought, you know what, this is too easy. I'm going to give everyone a chance. And Cowley's thinking the same thing. I'm also going to give everyone a chance. Baker Gaming's not thinking the same thing. He's thinking, nope, no one's getting a chance of this title. It's mine and mine only. Right, safety car is in this lap. That means one thing. We get the telemetry up. We'll also get the lap data up so you can see the tyres anyway, because I think I'm going to move over to the penalty situation now. Right, let's go to the race leader, Batman. Again, make sure it's a clean getaway. Cowley was in front. He was some... Okay. Okay, as long as he was the car in front, so we should be able to appeal it. Keznator has had an incident with Wilco, but we are back underway for the final time this evening. Here we go. Batman leads from 50 Gent, from Bakey, from Louis. Don't forget Cowley's 10 seconds will likely be removed come the end of this. And then you got Rotty as well. But I am Batman, 50 Gent. Who will get the victory? Baker Gaming Louis. Then you got Doug past Shazam. He's up into P9. But again, he's 1.5 seconds back from Melon. He's so far back here, Doug. Yes, he will get the greater traction. Yes, he will have chances to make overtakes. But it's going to be a problem for him. Oh, what's happened here? Shazam is down to P13. He's still in the race. But that's pretty much his race done. And he won't gain anything more than that. He will gain from Keznator, actually. Ignore that. He will gain one spot. Right, Rotty on the rear of Cowley. Cowley still has a chance of a good position, but again, with a likely penalty heading his way, and the 3 seconds, obviously 10 will be removed. But what can Cowley do here come the end of this event? He is behind Louis Blizzy. 0.4 of a second. Rotty is all over him as well at 1/10. Is this a chance for Rotty to find his way through? Would he go on the inside or would he go on the outside? Doesn't look like either. Doug has got the best opportunity. Don't forget he's on the fresh tyres. So we'll be going back to him for the final lap if he gets close enough. But we are heading on to the final lap of this Grand Prix. And he got Cowley here all over Louis Blizzy. Round the outside goes Cowley. He does want this position and he wants it badly, but he's not getting the overtake done. He just has to slot in behind. Rotty, then Cinders, then Melon, then it's Doug, who has got James Killer attacking him. And James on the inside of Doug, ever so close between the pairing. Doug just ahead of James Killer. And Doug's down in P9. Yes, he'll gain more places. He's trying to go round the outside on Melon. Not quite making that one happen. He does not want to pick up any damage. He certainly does not want to get involved in any collisions here, Doug. But he's well down the order. Yes, he might end up taking a P7 or P6 possibly if he can get through on Melon as well. But it's not the position that Doug would have been hoping for. This is not ideal for the Mercedes. Melon goes wide and that gets Doug through. Doug should have the place now, going side by side with Melon. Surely it's going to be his overtake. And here we go, side by side. Melon with a bit of wing damage. Oh, he dropped in behind there, Doug. Not going for the overtake. But it looks like Batman. Oh, as Doug goes in. Doug goes into Melon. He does. And James Killer now is all over Doug. Is he going to get the overtake done? He's going to go to the inside of Doug. It's a 130R. Cowley through on Louis Blizzy. But Doug just holds out ahead of James Killer. But we are going to go to the leaders. Because I Am Batman is going to win the Japanese Grand Prix. 50 Jet on the podium. Bakey Gaming is also there. Then it's Louis Blizzy with an incredible 4th place. Cinders P5 from Melon. Doug holds out in P7. And then a whole gaggle of cars in behind there. But Doug may have just fumbled a massive opportunity here in this race by making that pit stop. He should have really stayed out, surely. And Louis Blizzy, yeah, 4th place. What a drive from him. I guess the in-game driver of the day. It's given us a black screen, so, okay, luckily we are able to see this. And it's the podium celebrations. But wow, what an insane ending to the race. And Batman holds out to take victory. The Red Bull on top, but not the Red Bull of the championship leader. But as Cowley has missed out. Obviously, Cowley involved in the incident earlier in the race. So he had to drop back. And obviously the 10 seconds, which will likely be removed. Providing it is false, of course. But yeah, the full results. And here you go, Batman taking the win from 50 Gent. And Baker Gaming, Louis Blizzy in 4th for the Haas. Good drive from him, up 10 spots. Cinders in 5th, Mellon 6th, again strong one for the V-Carb. Doug in 7th, Rotty 8th, Lennox Wilco in 9th from James Kedder in the top 10. Shazam, Cowley, and the final finisher was Kesenator in P13. Ivy and Mr. Piggy, both Alpines, retiring from the Grand Prix. But yeah, quite an incredible race there. Iron Batman also taking a fast lap. That's a point for him as well. So 36 points heading the way of the Iron Batman. A very strong result for the team of Red Bull here this evening. And what a race we've just had in Tier 3. A couple of safety cars, no doubt. But we would naturally expect safety cars at Japan. That's for sure. But yeah, GG Batman, Clinical, says Jar Jar. I was right, Batman won. GG's, says Turner. So yeah, I mean, the safety car would have been massive in that as well, obviously. Again, not sure why the pit stops were occurring right at the end. Obviously, you saw James Kidder and Doug. Not just Doug, by the way. It was James Kidder also pitting. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really know why he pitted. They should have both stayed out. Even though they would have been on older tyres. A couple of laps of racing at Suzuka. Overtaking is tough enough. And they both found that out as well. They both found out in the whole race that it was tough to overtake. Yeah, I'm not certain why they pitted. Maybe they were expecting more drivers to pit. Well, I mean, they would have done. They were expecting pretty much everyone to pit, but at that stage, yeah, I would have stayed out unless I was like last place and I was so far off the back. If I wasn't, I would have probably stayed out anyway. So yeah, I'm not certain as to why they did pit, but obviously they did pit, and it's obviously been a mistake for Doug and for James Kidder in this race. From what could have been a very easy 1 and 2, it's in the end in the fringes of the top 10. Couldn't avoid the incident that gave me 10 seconds. You can appeal it, by the way. Same with Cowley. If you both want to appeal your 10-second penalties, feel free. But yeah, for this evening, though, that has been a Tier 3 race. We will pop the link into the TikTok for the final time, just in case anybody does wish to join on that link. But yeah, for the final time this evening, we have been UFRL, and I have been UFRL F1 Viva. Thank you for watching, and good night.